All right, we are here, the Wifflepalooza prediction show. We have with us from left to right, we have Shirls from the Lugnuts, we have Seuss from the Reds, Stache from the Rubber Ducks, and Rocket from the Yankees. We're going to go through the bracket, the winner's bracket. Starting out, each person will give their prediction for the game. Whichever team gets the most votes, we'll say wins the game, and we'll go on to the next round of the bracket, and we'll predict those games as well, on and on and on until we get our two final winners. So to start out, the first matchup of the day on Field 1 at 8:30 a.m., we have the Marlins versus the Lugnuts. Oh wait, hold up, this is an old bracket.
That's really embarrassing.
Is it?
It should be American.
Oh, jeez. Wait, I have it anyways. All right, Americans versus Lugnuts. Pitching probables for the Americans would be Lulu. The Lugnuts will be Shirls. Hader has given us odds on the matchup and also a run over-under. He has the Americans at -280, the Lugnuts at +240, and the run total is 6.5. So we'll start out. We'll start with, do we include Shirls since he's on the team?
Yeah.
We'll include Shirls. All right. From left to right, we'll go.
I think it's a no-brainer that the Americans will defeat us.
Americans.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for the Americans.
I think it's less of a no-brainer. Shirls is going to be dicing. Nudie Booty and Dr. Dipshit can really hit. And I think the big question is, I don't know, are the Americans going to pitch Lulu? If he's locked in right away, that's going to be tough. But I think Shirls has a little bit more magic left, so I'm picking the Lugnuts.
All right, well, I'm the same way as Seuss. I think it's going to be a lot more close than people think. Shirls shut down the Dodgers, as everybody saw. Single-handedly beat them. But I do think the Americans will pull this one off. Just a little more hitting than the Lugnuts.
I'm going with my man Shirls right here. Been playing with him for 16 years. I know what he can do. I say Lugnuts win 2-1.
All right, I zoned out. Was that split?
It's a split. Yeah.
All right, that means I'm going to come in and break the tie, and I am also going to take the Lugnuts. I think Shirls beats the Americans. Lulu and Dipshit have been very lazy in the field lately, and I just don't think they're going to bring the effort. Word on the street is they're trying to tank because they're scared of the biscuits. They have no confidence, so I'm going Lugnuts all the way.
Thanks a lot, guys.
No pressure.
I really appreciate that.
No pressure. No pressure.
Yeah.
All right.
If there's any way to turn a game against the Lugnuts into locker chalkboard material, you've done it. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Sorry, again, Lugnuts.
If they come with their home run hams and just start dishing them out to the Americans, who knows?
Yeah.
It's 8:30 in the morning. So.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have the Twins versus Mariners, also at 8:30 on Field 3. The Twins likely will be trying out Thor, and the Mariners will be trying out Comeback Player of the Year candidate Squirrel. Twins are at -140, Mariners at +120, run total 6.5. We'll start out.
With me again?
Yep.
I don't know. Thor, every time I faced him, he's always throwing just this crazy lob ball all the time, like a real big eephus pitch. That's not really a easy pitch. It's not an easy eephus. And I'm pretty sure I've seen him do that at Wifflepalooza many times as well. That can flummox people, especially youngsters. So I'm going to go with the Twins.
Squirrel has been pitching really well over the past few weeks, and I think given that, I know the Twins bats are going to be dangerous, but I'm going to go with the Mariners.
I'm on board with Squirrel. He has been pitching lights out recently. I think that he can shut down anybody, and the Twins won't have their captain there, Kmart.
Really?
So that's going to be a little bit of a problem. Maybe the chemistry's not going to be there. So, Mariners.
And with these two right here, I say Mariners. They're a scrappy team. They can hit a little bit. They can pitch a little bit. Twins have been around for a long time, but I just think not having Kmart there, chemistry-wise, that their leader isn't there, their captain isn't there. I think Mariners pull this out.
Did not know Kmart wasn't there.
I think you guys are overestimating the impact of Kmart. This might be the moment that the Twins break
we
free.
know
From
that
years of
it's
bullshit.
a liability.
I mean, I love you, Kmart, but I feel like this is their coming out story. So you guys watch. It's going to be a loosey-goosey team, free of his underwear hijinks. You'll see. Twins are going to do it.
Is Cork even going to be there? I mean, is Cork going to be there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right.
Come on, how come you don't know that?
Come on, Seuss.
We have our Hawkins guy right here.
Next,
That's some insight.
Right.
next we have the Chihuahuas and the Whalers. Chihuahuas, the 5 seed, one of the hotter teams in the league, and the Whalers, the 12 seed. This game will be played on Field 4 at 8:30 a.m. Pitching probables, we have Airbud, and for the Whalers, the Man, if he became eligible, which I don't know if he did.
He did.
All right, so the Man. Chihuahuas at plus 120, Chihuahuas at minus 140, and the run total is at 5.5. Let's switch it up and start with Rocket this time.
Also, I'll throw out, I think Airbud threw game 3 last night,
He did.
so he's not eligible to throw.
Just kidding. Airbud probably won't pitch, so it could be Merce who threw his
Probably
first
gonna be
nickname. Just kidding. We have Stache here. Nickname.
This is kind of tricky. I was talking to the Man last night, I was talking to Ryan, and he was telling me he was just lucky enough just to come out last night to qualify. He's not even sure if he's going to be there Saturday. So, I mean, we know the Whalers could hit. We know the Chihuahuas could hit. And they can play. They're up and coming. But if Ryan is there, I say Whalers. But right now, being iffy, I'll give it to the Chihuahuas.
Played the Whalers many times, and there's no question that the Chihuahuas are going to win.
Chihuahuas.
I agree. I think the Man's a big difference maker. Although the way the Chihuahuas have been hitting this year and hitting really good pitching, I think I'm going to pick the Chihuahuas, win this one 2-1.
I'm like you, Rocket. I have different opinion depending on if the Man shows. I'm going to base mine off of the Man showing because I don't think he goes out of his way to qualify unless he's going to show.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have come. So I think he's coming. I think he wins, but I think it's much higher score than what you're saying. I think it's going to be a shit show.
I agree with that.
But right when it counts, they're gonna ride the Man, and when it counts, he'll have it, and the Whalers will win. It'll be like 9-7,
I can see that.
something like that.
All right, so we have another tie. Got to come in and break this. Even though I've pledged my allegiance to the Chihuahuas in the past, I'm still going to go, again, based on the assumption that the Man comes, I'm going to go with the Whalers. I think the Man brings a lot to the table. If you're new to the league, go back and watch old highlights of the Man, Red Sox World Series, Gotham's Red Sox World Series. He can bring it in the playoffs, so I'm going with.
And he can carry your team, too.
Yeah.
When he's on, hitting-wise and pitching-wise. So.
I'm going with those. The Man, when the Whalers break up next year, the Dodgers have a spot for you.
Open collusion.
And how's that collusion?
That's not collusion.
All right, moving on. We have the Pirates and the Orioles. Pirates are the 4 seed. Orioles are the 13 seed. Orioles will be, unfortunately, without Birdman, who was in a serious accident. So thoughts and prayers with Orioles and Birdman. The Orioles will be bringing a 3-man squad of Slim, Shaggy, and Whiffman. Whiffs, sorry. I like Whiffman, though.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Pirates have been a surprise team this year. 4 seed is really high. I don't think anyone would have seen that coming in the beginning of the year. Hader has the Pirates at minus 160 and the Orioles at plus 140, and the run total is at 10 runs. We will start with Rocket again.
This is interesting. First off, I want to say the Yankees are sending out their prayers to Birdman and his family. Hopefully everything he recovers and he comes out on top on this. Due to the game, I'm picking the Pirates, but with what's happened with Birdman, they got 2 guys who could pitch, Slim and Shaggy. Those guys are not just, players who are just throwing the ball. Those guys I've seen pitch, they can be tough. I give it to the Pirates because they got Milton. That guy can pitch and hit. Trevor's doing a great job putting a team like that together. They've surprised a lot of us. So I'm picking the Pirates.
This one was pretty tough for me. It took me a while to figure out who I wanted. Slim is a dang good pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I feel with what happened this past week, I think they might have a little bit of more pressure to win, and I think that they'll pull it off.
Yeah, this one's really tough. And knowing the O's are going to have a three-man lineup, and those are three good hitters too. I don't know. They're going to give the Pirates a tough time. I think the Pirates' bats, I know Jake is a really good hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Milt's been swinging the bat really well too. I think I'm going to give the edge to the Pirates, but it'll be close. It could easily go either way.
I think the Orioles will just have the juice, the spiritual juice going tomorrow, at least for a while. And I think they're just going to be all over the Pirates. No offense to the Pirates, but I think it'll be the Orioles' day.
I gotta break the tie again. I think I'm gonna ride these Orioles too. They gave us a slight scare when we played them. Slim was pitching, and again, I think three-man lineup will be nice. Pirates, I still think could kind of rebound and make a run through the losers bracket, but I think the Orioles take that first game. Next, we go down to the we go down to the second half of the bracket. We have the Cardinals versus the Giants, 3 versus 14. Cardinals likely will be trotting out ex-MLB player Boom, and the Giants will be throwing Bliss Jr., who could probably win Cy Young. Unfortunately, his team can't score many runs. So Hader has the Cardinals at minus 170, the Giants at plus 150, and the run total at 5.5 runs. We'll start with Stache this time.
I did not know that Boom was going to be there. That has changed everything for me.
I don't know. That's just what Hader said, so who knows? Boom may or may not. Anyone can confirm?
I think he'll be there.
He's
I
gonna
don't
be
even
there.
think they know.
He'll be there.
I mean,
that's true.
They don't really know.
Nothing's 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they are assuming he'll be there.
Okay.
Like, he qualified
Yeah.
with the
He'll
purpose
be
of
there.
coming.
Yeah.
Is it an 8:30 game?
It is a
9:45.
9:45.
Okay,
That
there's a
helps.
chance that he gets it.
Yeah.
So given Boom is going to be there, I got the Cardinals winning. It's going to be a close one, obviously, because Bliss Jr. has won or lost every one-run game this year. I think it's like every single game he's pitched. So I think it's going to be a 2-3 Cardinal win.
Yeah, Bliss Jr. has been awesome this year. I think the Cardinals' bats get to him before the Giants' bats get to Boom. So I'll pick the Cards.
I'm going with the Cards.
I'm going with the Cards as well. Those guys can hit. Bliss Jr. is Jacob deGrom-esque this year. He can pitch, but gets no run support. But Cardinals all the way.
That was a sweep, our first sweep of the brackets. Moving on, next we have the 6-seed Braves versus the 11-seed Iron Pigs. Likely pitching for the Braves will be Thunderson. Likely pitching for the Iron Pigs will be Clutch Player of the Year, Joel, who just came off a win over the Dodgers in which he hit home runs in back-to-back innings to give them the win. Hader has the Braves at minus 170 and the Iron Pigs at plus 150 with the run total at 7.5. We have a guest who I'm going to call in here to make the first choice here. We have Huck Finn. Let me give him a call.
The drama.
So this one's a little tough just because no Dobbs or DJ. Yeah.
Who's there? Thunderson, Chops, and because I remember Chops was telling us the night.
Hello.
Hello. All right, you are making a choice here. We are previewing the bracket, as you know, and we are at the 6-seed Braves versus the 11-seed Iron Pigs. Thunderson versus Ida Dick. Who do you...
Did you really have to say that?
Just call him Joel.
Who do you have?
Just call him Joel.
Joel.
But I'm gonna as much. You know what? I'm gonna go with my my favorite team this past year, we really bunched well. I'm going to go with the Braves. A lot of good things happened with us in the Braves this year, so I'm going to go with the Braves. I'm all in on the Braves.
All right, Huck Finn takes the Braves. Hang with us here. We'll let you finish off the second half of the bracket, but we're going to go around the circle here quick, and we'll come back to you. So that's one for the Braves, and now we'll move on to Rocket.
I go with the Braves. Even though it's a three-man team, Joe can hit and pitch a little bit, but besides Joe, the lack of hitting, at least you got chops, you got Thunderson, Vlack hit a little bit, so I'm going with the Braves.
I got the Braves in this one as well. It's going to be a lot closer than people think just because of who's out for the Braves, but with the pitching of Thunderson, I think that'll keep him in and win.
Yep. Only thing that I can see swinging for the Iron Pigs is if Thunderson is having an off day with his control. Those guys are very, very patient. But I think ultimately the Braves bats and chops is going to rake. So I think the Braves are going to take it.
I don't know. I recently, after playing, we almost got our first one against the, what are they called?
Iron Pigs.
Iron Pigs. And I hadn't really researched them much. And after Joel, in particular, gave me a real hard time, and they were very patient, I started looking into him. And I think he's like the 5th best K rate in the history of the HRL, this guy. And I told him that, literally, his strikeout per at-bat rate is ridiculously good, and that's like despite several years of really being bad. And I don't know, that's awfully tough. I agree. Thunderson is like me, prone to fits of control issues, and they were so patient. That's tough. But I also don't really see Chops letting his team lose.
Yeah, that's
to that team. 8:30 in the morning or 9:45?
9:45.
wind blowing in or out.
Dang. I'm going to go with the Braves, but very reluctant. I think it's going to be close.
All right. I ran out of service, so we lost Huck Finn. Sorry, dog. But do you have a phone on you?
Yeah.
All right, just text him and tell him. Sorry. We're moving on to the 7 versus. Pull this up here. 7 versus 11. Oh wait, 7 versus 10. A's versus Rough Riders. A's confirmed will be trotting out rookie Catnip, and the Rough Riders will likely be throwing Hader. Hader has the odds at plus 130 for the A's and minus 150 for the Rough Riders, with the run total at 7.5. We'll start with Seuss this time.
Can I ask what's the roster for the Rough Riders?
Rough Riders, I am not sure, but we know Hal will be there. We know Hader will be there. I'm guessing. I just feel like they're going to bring a 3-man squad.
I
They
think
said 4 more. They said 4.
They said
They
4.
said 4.
Mr.
All right.
Robot, a big deal.
Yep, they're going to bring that whole squad.
Okay.
So Pinky was his old name.
I hate making a call for this game. The A's are very, very good. Catnip has been pitching really well. Hader is one of the more underrated pitchers in the league because it's so rare when he actually is trying to win. But when he's pitching, he can deal. I think ultimately Hal is going to win this game for the Rough Riders. And then the A's are going to go on a long run after that. But hate making a call on this one.
I'm pretty much just going to echo everything you said. I think I was shocked at how good the A's were and how much better they were between the first time we played them this year and when we played them on Thursday. Catnip and the other dude,
Fishhook?
Or Neutron.
Fishhook?
Neutron, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those two pitched, and both looked to me to have a lot of promise, especially Catnip. 3 years from now, they'll be giving all you guys fits over and again, big time. But yeah, I have a good feeling about Hal, so I'm gonna go Rough Riders.
I'm also going with the Rough Riders. I can see them turning it on, especially with Hal and Hader. A's is going to be a team to be reckoned with years to come, but I agree with what Sue says. I think the A's lose this game, make a good run in the losers bracket, but I'm picking the Rough Riders.
I've seen Hader firsthand this year when he wanted to try. he one hit us, the Ducks. We're known for pretty good bats.
Mhm.
That slider curve he has is nasty, and I don't think the A's are ready for that. So I got the Rough Riders winning this one.
And another sweep. We got the Rough Riders. Moving down to the last first-round matchup between the Marlins and the Bears. Pitching probables will be Nightmare and the Professor, probably.
Professor threw game 2 yesterday.
Yeah, he can't go get. Yep.
All right, so then...
Actually, no, they played 3 though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they played 3. J-Mac threw game 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Wow.
it's good.
Professor, okay.
Interesting.
That's fun.
Yes, so Marlins roster, wasn't there something where people weren't going to be there? Or
I think they have 8 or 9 guys.
They got
Jeez.
everybody. I looked at their roster. Everybody qualified.
And
But TT just posted something today saying he's
not
the
gonna
Rockies.
Oh, so basically they'll probably have 8 guys.
7 or 8, yeah.
All right, so let's start with Rocket again.
I got the Marlins. I was at the game yesterday. Pirates, Bears played 3. Bears could have easily won 2 out of 3. And pretty much they tried. Their defense let them down. I mean, Professor in game 2 was winning 3-2, and they didn't get 1 hit. Ulysses struggled with his control. That's how he scored runs all on walks, but they just couldn't generate a hit. And if you're facing Nightmare, A, good luck, and B, that team could hit. So I'm taking the Marlins.
I'm on board with Marlins as well. Nightmare's a pretty good pitcher. If Catfish is there, he can hit bombs. So
Right, Seuss? No one got that. I thought.
I got that.
I got it. Wally is going to win this game.
Yeah.
Marlins win.
Mhm.
Wally will win it on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of the only way the Bears could win is if they kind of bait Wally into being a jackass, into not caring. That's really the only way
Yeah.
they win. But if Professor's pitching, that gives Wally cover to play for real.
Mhm.
So I don't see how the Marlins lose it.
So that finishes round 1. I'll just quick run through what we had here. We had the Americans versus Lugnuts. Lugnuts will take that one.
That's stupid.
No.
We were 1-36. 1-36.
I'm
Come
sorry.
on.
Hey, remember the Bears didn't win a
I
game
think
when
everybody else was going to pick you
when they
guys.
Wifflepalooza, so.
Twins, Mariners. We took Mariners. Chihuahuas, Whalers. Pirates, Orioles. Cardinals, Giants. Cardinals. Braves, Pigs. Braves. A's, Rough Riders. Marlins, Bears, Marlins. So now going on to round 2. We'll start up at the top with the 16-seeded Lugnuts versus the Mariners. Pitching probables would be, 9 versus probably Super Dave or
Yeah.
Super Nick or wherever the hell Trent gave him the nickname for that week. So we'll start off with Rocket this time.
I got the Mariners in this one. John, he can pitch, but I think winning that first game, Nuggets will be overjoyed with happiness, and it's going to distract them, and I can see the Mariners scrapping this one out.
there's a long time between their first and second game for the Lugnuts, and a lot of hands might be flying.
That is true.
I got the Mariners on this one.
I think the Mariners are a big confidence team. They've won Wifflepalooza before,
Yep.
so I think when they get hot, they get confident. They hit a lot better. Pitching is pretty good. I think it'll be close, but I take the Mariners.
I think I just played the Mariners at Whiffle for Wishes. I'm pretty sure. That was one of the teams that we were playing, me and the kids, and they were hitting. They were good. And, I'm going to pick the Mariners. Sorry, Johns.
All right. The Lugnuts' glorious run ends.
No, I think we get to
They go
play
to the
one
losers
more.
bracket.
Oh, wait, true. Psych. There's losers bracket, which they would probably win the next game. I think we would all say that. Anyways, we have the Whalers versus the Orioles. Pitching would probably be Deuce versus Shaggy. We'll start with Shirls this time.
Deuce versus Shaggy. I think youth starts to kick in here, and interest level kicks in. So I'm going to go. They're going to Orioles.
Orioles again.
I think the Whalers pull this one out. I think it'll be a lot closer than what they think. Shaggy can pitch, but when he starts losing control, he's in trouble. That's what happened to us. He was shutting us down for a while, and the minute he walked one guy, I don't know if it got in his head, he just started walking, and then we just started hitting him. But pretty much, I think the Whalers can handle him. I think Whalers win this one.
From what I've seen with the Whalers, they're not good. They're really not good.
Wow.
I'm going to have to go with the Orioles just because I think that they have the hitting over them.
Gotta get this guy the intro video archives.
Hey, that was years ago. This is this year and last year.
Tough. Again, I think the Whalers will end up winning this game. The control issues potentially, and assuming the man is going to be there.
This is assuming he.
All right, well, what's that?
He's going to be going for it.
All right, and to break the tie here, we have a second-round matchup between the Whalers and the Orioles. Pitching would be Deuce for the Whalers and Shaggy for the Orioles. We have Huck Finn to break the tie. Huck, who do you have here?
Oh, this is a tough one. You know what? I got faith in the young squad. I'm going Orioles.
Huck takes the Orioles. So moving on now, we have the Cardinals versus the Braves here in round 2. Pitching probables would be Big Haas for the Cardinals, and probably either Chops or Vlade for the Braves. Vlade. Vlade is fresh off of dicing up the Ducks. You can go watch the highlight video on YouTube right now. We'll start with Huck Finn. Huck Finn, who do you have here?
Oh, this is tough. Actually, Vlade does up for a couple innings as well before he pulled himself. But I'm going to go, you know what, I think the Card stats are going to come alive. I'm going Cardinals.
Huck Finn takes the Cardinals. We'll move on to Rocket.
This is a tough one as well, but I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Cardinals as well.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals as well. Vlade is getting up there in the age. 2 stellar performances against the Biscuits and Ducks, but I don't think he could pull a third one out of his ass.
So, Chops isn't pitching?
From what I've heard, I didn't think he was going to pitch.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Unless they're saving him for like game 3. If they get that far and they win the first 2, that's the only thing I can think of. Because I would have assumed Chops was pitching game 2, but you said Vlade is, so I'm like.
The rumor is that he's not, but I haven't heard that directly from them. So.
Either way, I'm picking the Cards. I think their bats are gonna.
And Tootin's going to be in the lineup.
Yep,
Tootin's
boom. Those guys can just hit.
Cardinals are going to be hanging out with the Lugnuts a lot through the last 3 hours that have transpired before this game. And I think that the Cardinals are still going to be on the upper arc of that crescendo of performance-wise on the Hams curve, and it will bottom out, but not yet. It's more like 3 o'clock where that's going to be a problem. So Cardinals are just going to walk all over these guys.
Well, they're not going to literally walk, but
they might.
They might. Yeah.
Cardinals walk. I don't think that's in Tootin's vocab. That's all right. So moving on, we have the Rough Riders and the Marlins. Pitching probables would be Hal/H9K for the Rough Riders, and probably Box or Rex for the Marlins. For this, let's just say,
What a game!
let's just call it Box in this case.
Okay, yep, that's what the rotation they've been going with.
All right, we'll go with Box. So this would have been an amazing matchup. Well, it is an amazing matchup, but it could have been an also amazing matchup like 5 years ago. So good to see 2 old guys still throwing.
Come on, dude.
That wasn't.
That old.
I wasn't trying to like make an old joke. It came out the way. I apologize. You're very young.
What were you trying to do?
Old as in they've been in
Vets.
veteran
Veteran.
matchup. A veteran matchup.
How old do you think they are?
I think they're probably like 40.
Those guys would defeat you in every way. In a Festivus. Just put it this way: you put Hal up against you in some sort of Festivus thing in this living room, and you're gonna be licking wounds from it.
I will say Hal hit probably the farthest home run ever hit off me, so he can hit. They all can hit. All right. Rough Riders Marlins. We'll go with Huck Finn again. One less prediction. Huck, make your prediction.
You say it was Hal versus Box? Is that what we're going with?
Yep, Hal versus Box.
I'm going Hal Rough Riders, 0 hesitation.
All right, no hesitation from Huck. He takes Hal. Huck, thanks for joining us. We'll call if there's any other tiebreakers. Have a great night. Please go. All right. Rocket.
I'm going with the Rough Riders.
Rough Riders.
Hal's an old teammate of mine. He's gonna focus, dial it in, and pretty much he can silence the Marlins bats. Those guys can hit. I know Box can hit, can pitch, but I'm going with the Rough Riders.
I got the Rough Riders as well. Seeing that they're going to be a 4-man team, you're going to get Hal and Hader at least every inning. Compared to the Marlins, if they do a whole 8-man lineup, you might only see twice of Nightmare, or twice of Catfish, so the bats won't be there, or the big bats won't be there for the Marlins.
And that's also part of my decision making.
I'm going to pick the Marlins. And I'm picking the Marlins because those top 4 batters for the Fish are likely Rex, Box,
Well,
Nightmare, Catfish. Like, they won't get as many looks as Hal. But I think they will get enough looks to get a couple across. I don't know. And Hal is future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time. And he could easily throw a perfect game.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He could.
I'm going with Hal.
He can also have some control issues sometimes, and I don't know if he's going to be able to make that switch back from taking it kind of easy all season to going to like vintage Hal 9K. If he can, I think the Rough Riders win, but my pick is the Marlins. I think that first start's going to be tough for him.
Okay, I was totally on board with you. I look at the Marlins as a championship contender if they can get through this day. Just because their roster, I agree. There's 4 really good hitters on this team. Very few teams can boast that, and they have, they do have pitching as well. And I can't see the Marlins bottoming out. But then I looked up Hader's career numbers against Box. It's Box pitching, and they are crazy good. I was actually going to go with a take that, I think Hader would have trouble with Box's curve. Just because I also see the Marlins caring more about this game. And so that's a huge factor once you're into game 2, 3, 4, 5 at Wifflepalooza. But Hader's career numbers against Box, 14 for 39, 6 home runs.
He's really good.
So hitting 359 with a 890 slug, 480 on base. Yeah, I don't know. So this could be tough for Box because Hal, I think, can hit him all. Oh, dang. I don't know how I'm going to go. So this would be the first Marlins loss, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Rough Riders, even though I can't, the Marlins might be my sneaky pick for champs this year, but I'm going to say they lose this game.
See, and I'm with Shirls too, but I know I didn't include it when I said this. Stache is dead on. I know what Hal playing with him, and I know what Hader can do. I don't know the other 2 guys how they hit or whatever. I don't look that up. But that being said, Rex, Box, Wolf, Catfish, we know those guys can mash. The problem is are they going to get enough at bats? And if Hal is on, they ain't getting enough at bats. It's going to be max. Somebody's going to get 3 at bats, and that's pretty much it. And I don't think that's enough at bats for the Marlins to overcome if those guys are seeing Box. Sooner or later, you're going to get a pattern. You're going to start seeing it. The pitch is better, and Just those two guys alone could carry a team when they want to. I mean, Hal can hit. Haters hit over 40 home runs. I mean, it's the Marlins, like Joe says, are my pick to come out of this. That being said, the length in the lineup is what I think is going to hurt them.
I will be there front and center to watch that game.
Oh yeah.
If and when it happens. I'm excited.
Okay. The Rough Riders got to get through Catnip first. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
That's
that's
just-
by professor.
That's a whole All right. So that's Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I zoned out. All right. Moving up to the top of the bracket, we have the Mariners versus the Orioles. Back to pitching probables would be Squirrel versus Slim. Let's start with Stache.
I think the high of the Orioles are going to run down here, and I think Squirrel's going to be on. As Seuss mentioned, they're a very confident team, and once they're confident, it's tough to beat them. Ask the Chihuahuas.
Yeah, I picked the Mariners too.
I'm same reasoning. I think Orioles will start to have they'll be on a magical run, and I forget who said it. I think you said the Mariners have shown longevity at Wifflepalooza in the past, and it all makes sense. I think the Mariners win it.
I'm going with the Mariners, and this, if you realize, this is now game 3 if they won. And you only got to win 5 to get out of it. So we might have to keep an eye on them. Like you said, they won it before. They've come out of this before, so I'm picking the Mariners on this one.
They should win 5 or 4 if they win out.
I think they just sit there in 4 if they win
I think
all.
it's
Oh, really? Just 4? Oh, that's right, because the extra game is if they lose, they got to play an extra. That's right, so it's only 4. So if they win this, they're in the championship round pretty much. So, yeah, so right there, that's already one team going to the championship round. It's the Mariners. If everything goes through how we say it.
Double side.
Yeah, is it?
Because
We
this
have
would
it right
be
there.
Orioles.
You win.
What do you want to find?
Win the first game.
Oh, no, you're
Second,
right.
third.
Yeah, because that extra game right
yeah.
there, that's if
Yeah.
the losing team wins, then they got to play an extra one.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow, so it's only 4. Wow, they were in the championship round then.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Unless they lose the luck not to get 2.
Unless they lose a leg, let's
Yeah.
go to. Not
That
just
could be
need the
the-
Shirls win to
Mm-hmm.
get the championship round.
Hey, we've seen. Remember the Colt 45s?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, that was awesome.
So
Yeah,
that
was
was. All right. So Mariners took that one.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I thought. Next, we have the Cardinals versus the Rough Riders. Likely would be Boom versus Hader again. Close matchup. Let's start with Rocket.
Cardinals. Pretty much, I think the Rough Riders run in the winner's bracket ends right here. Getting Tootin back in the lineup, that helps. But it's Boom. That guy is almost unhittable. So, Cardinals.
This one's a tough one. Hader, like I said, is a great pitcher when he wants to be. Cardinals with Boom, I've never seen him. I've just seen him in the All-Star game, so I know that he's a good pitcher. Be happy. Every time the Cardinals have had to come to Hopkins, so we've been lucky on that aspect. But I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Rough Riders. Again, with the shorter at-bats, or minimal people in the order, seeing the pitcher a lot more. And like you said, Hal's a great player. Hader is a sneaky hitter, actually. I think he had 2 left-handed hits on him.
And just to throw in there, Company is back. We played the Cardinals in the first round. They had their whole team qualified. Not everybody hitting their lineup.
Oh.
So they maximized what was the best lineup for them for that game and how many guys should hit. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Wow.
It's not really the intro.
It's not really the Cardinal way.
Oh.
Jeez.
It worked. They went to the World Series that year, so.
I'm
You
gonna
picked.
I'm sticking with the Riders.
Okay. Yeah. Like, gut pick for me is the Cardinals, but if I think about it, I mean, Boom just drills the outside part of the board. Hal is the league's like all-time greatest opposite field power hitter.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't know. Boom's tough, but like if Hal gets enough looks at him, I can see him getting him. Hader walked off Boom in the playoffs, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, too. So, like, I know Hader can't hit him. Still, gut feeling is just, I think it's going to be the Cardinals.
When Boom first came in the league, he wasn't pitching like he is now. And I think he didn't feel comfortable enough operating to his max in this Wiffleball.
I agree.
And so I would discard anything you saw 5 years ago from him,
Yeah.
especially from Hader. I love Hader, but his shtick doesn't work against
Yeah.
Hader's shtick is going nowhere with the Cardinals. It all depends on the hams factor for them, like where they are in this arc. At this point, they're right at the peak, and I think Hal, he's an enigma. At this point, he's gotten a phone call from somebody, and he needs to be somewhere in an hour.
Yeah.
And so Cardinals, because Rough Riders have already lost interest in this thing at this point.
2 straight front row seat games.
That'd be a good one.
Can't wait. All right.
And Cardinals will lose whoever they're playing to next, because
They'll
it's
be-
starting to go downhill.
Which could be all right. So yeah, that's what we'll get to next. So up top, our winner was the Mariners. Well, not quite, not yet, not confirmed, but we have the Mariners up top. And coming through the losers bracket, let's just play a little hypothetical here. I will list the teams that would have been contending to play in that spot. So we had, from the other side of the bracket, the first round losers. It would have been the, where's this? That bracket's wrong.
American.
It would be-
based on your stupid picks.
So it would be the it would be the Giants, because it flips. So the bottom of the bracket,
Yep.
first round losers go to the other side, but
Yep.
the other losers stay.
Stay.
So it would be between the Giants, the Pigs, the A's, the Bears, the Lugnuts, the Whalers, or the Orioles.
So we get to pick one.
You get to pick one team.
A's.
Rocket takes the A's.
The Riders might be coming out of it.
Nope, they would stay in theirs. So again, it's the Giants, the Pigs, the A's, the Bears, the Lugnuts, the Whalers, or the Orioles.
A's. A's is my pick.
2 picks for the A's. And we're just going to go with the majority, and then we're going to vote.
I'll go with the A's, too. I think they've got such deep pitching.
Yeah.
They're totally set up for a Wifflepalooza run.
Yeah, you have to start thinking about guys throwing their second game of the day.
Yeah, they've
That
got
stuff, like, that's kryptonite for
Oh, a lot.
All right, one second.
Well, I think
Okay.
doesn't really matter.
So,
So
okay.
let's go with the Bears.
All right.
yeah.
So we have joining us, we have Fishhook from the A's joining us. I forgot to mention that the A's will be without Fishhook and Lumberjack, so their pitching will be Catnip, McGruber, and Neutron. All right, so we did this whole bracket selection here, Fishhook, and right now we have in the championship game to go to the real playoff, to go to the division series, we have the Mariners versus the Athletics. Mariners would be pitching Super Dave. The Athletics could be pitching, for this case, let's just say Catnip. Who do you have in that game? Obviously you're biased, but remove the bias. The A's just made a crazy run. Catnip at this point has already pitched 2 games versus Super Dave, who's a veteran, who pounds the board, throws a lot of strikes. Who do you have?
Well, I didn't make the Mariners game, but I know Tom, his first inning's always dog shit, but then once he gets going, after 2 games, he's going to be a beast. So honestly, I got the Athletics. I think it'll be a low-scoring game with Catnip and maybe even Toe Jam or Neutron hitting some dongs, and I think we could pull that one off. And then I'd see you boys in the divisional playoffs, you know.
That would be great.
Maybe. I didn't make the Mariners game, so.
All right,
I
we'll move
think
on
we
to
could do
Rocket.
I think it's going to be tough, but I agree. I think the A's can come out of that.
Rocket's
I
got
think
theirs
the
too.
A's.
I got the Mariners. I know that I think the rookiness of the A's might come into play, playing for a playoff berth, and like everybody's been saying, the Mariners have been there before, and they know how to get the job done.
Yeah, but youth is ignorant, man. These guys don't know what they're coming into. To them, it's just playing ball.
So I think one factor here, I think the A's will win that first game, but I think Squirrel beats them in the second, because the A's would have to beat them twice.
Okay, true. Yes,
That's
A's,
true.
Yes,
That's
A's would
true.
have to win
And
too.
that second one would be Squirrel.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think the A's beat them in the first one. Raiders get them
All right.
at the end.
And we have the Shirls.
So Mariners have the brothers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, by now they're fighting.
They're always fighting.
Yeah,
Two sets of brothers.
They do have two
Yeah,
sets of brothers.
see, it's all broken down at this point. They'll be squabbling something about a lunch bill, a lunch tab. It's definitely going to be the A's.
All right, so now to break the tie, so we had Seuss and Stache both said the Mariners would take that and move to the division series. Rocket, Fishhook, and Shirls each picked the A's in game 1, but the A's would have to win 2 games. So now it's game 2. The A's are throwing, let's say, McGruber, and the Mariners are throwing Squirrel, who again, comeback player of the year and an MNWA champion. So Fishhook, who do you have in that game? McGruber versus Squirrel.
That's a tough one. Jeez. I mean, Squirrel sounds like a pretty damn good player. But Mac G is Mac G. What can I say? We all know what when he's going good, we know what gets him going good. And he's added like 2 new pitches to his repertoire already this year. He's got to do some ERA. I think he's looking pretty good this year.
Can I ask you a
It'll be
question?
another close one. It's going to take some magic, but I think the A's could pull it off.
All right, we have a question for you, Fishhook.
Does what gets McGruber get going also get the rest of the A's get going?
We're a little young.
Well, I think that doesn't really pertain yet based on the laws of the great state of Minnesota. So that would drastically change my vote if McGruber has an influence over this team. No comment.
I cannot even.
No
All right, we'll
comment.
leave it at that.
All right, we move on to Rocket.
That being
McGruber.
said, like I said, I think the Mariners. I'm with Zach here. I think Mariners pull that one out. They'll lose the first one, but I can see them winning game 2.
Breaking news from Truck. Grass at Pilot Knob is cut as short as he's ever seen he can cut it.
Amazing.
So
Pilot
there's
Knob. Pilot Knob is fresh.
Hopkins people go over there. Oh.
All right.
The Neutron got out.
And so now we move to Shirls to break this final tie.
I love the A's right now, but I don't think they win 2 in a row.
So do I.
So Mariners win this one, the second one.
Mariners advance. All right, Fishhook, thanks for joining us. Sucks that you're gonna
Hey,
miss
thanks
it.
for the call.
See you later.
Good luck to all.
All right, so the Mariners take one of the spots, and now we go to the Cardinals, who will be playing one of these teams. The Americans, the Twins, the Chihuahuas, the Pirates, the Braves, Marlins, or Rough Riders. So Americans, Twins, Chihuahuas, Pirates, Braves, Marlins, Rough Riders.
Good Lord, that is a tough. Yeah, that's a tough field.
I think, in my opinion, I think it comes down to the Cardinals and Marlins. I think those are going to be the 2 teams.
Cards are already in.
Yeah.
Right. This is the season plays them.
Marlins.
To see who plays the Cardinals.
Huh? To see
Yeah.
who plays the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think it's the Marlins.
Okay.
Marlins.
So the Marlins could end up playing them again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it'll break down through.
That's a messed up bracket.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait.
I think the Rough Riders were supposed to be up top.
Yeah. And that's how it's been in years past, but I think they
Yeah,
switched it up
that's-
this year where
Yeah, they
teams
flipped
can
it.
jump.
They flipped it.
This is how my bracket.
Oh, wait. Game
It's
20.
game 20. Yeah, it's game 22 moves up to there.
Yeah, no, that's how it is.
Okay.
Yep.
But
All
you
right.
got the old one, right?
This is the old one, but like I did it.
Got
I checked it, so I'm 60% sure, but
I think the Marlins. I'm going to take the Marlins just because I feel like they're going to be in the playoffs, so it's the path to it. So I'm going to the Marlins.
I'll pick the Marlins too with Bark Bark as the runners up.
Because isn't the Rough Riders?
I think they're in the same.
Yeah.
Are they? Okay.
they'd be listening.
I got the Rough Riders coming out of there since they only have to win 1 to get right back into it. Just a lot less straining on everybody and go 3 more.
That'd be how All right. So Marlins. So now we come down to Cardinals and Marlins. We'll just do this in one round here. Either take the Cardinals or take the Marlins, who have to win 2 games. We'll start with Shirls.
Dang. I think, Ham's factor. Marlins win 2 games here. I'm going to roll with that. Don't let me down, Cardinals.
I'm picking the fish.
I'm going to go with Cardinals since Boone's probably not going to be drinking. He could probably carry a team. Drunk people can get lucky with swinging a bat and fall.
That's my entire theory about the curve. But at some point it unravels.
As much as I like the Cardinals, I'll go with the Marlins. I think they're just too, like I said, it all depends on that lineup, but pitching-wise, they're deep. They got to go through what they did last year. They only had just Box and Reds throwing every other game, adding Nightmare this year, another 3 deep. So they really don't have to kill their arms in a sense, so I'm picking the Marlins.
Well, there you have it. We have the Mariners and the Marlins, who are predicted to go on through. Marlins would be facing the Dodgers, and Mariners would move on to face the Biscuits. For the sake of this, we have everyone here. Let's go around. We'll just do a rapid fire here. So don't put a lot of thought into it. We'll do the rest of the playoff predictions, and then after that, we'll just do a quick 1 pitcher and 1 hitter to look out for in Wifflepalooza. So we'll start with that. So on the Wifflepalooza topic, go around quickly and name 1 hitter and 1 pitcher who you think would be names like an MVP of sorts of the day. So we'll start with Rocket.
Whoa. And Boone.
Nightmare and Boom.
Not enough at bats for is Nightmare the bat or the pitcher?
Hitting-wise.
But
I don't.
how many at bats are you going to get? You said yourself.
I know I said myself, but I think he'll make his at bats count.
So there'll be big spots.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to go with Squirrel as my pitcher, obviously. And then I think the bat is going to be Nudie Booty.
Ooh, like that. Good bold call.
I'm going to pick Rex for the bat. That guy just, he's a Big Ten player. And pitching, picking Shirls. I'm sorry.
For pitching, I'm going to say Catnap because I think he's going to go every other, and they're going to play quite a few games. And so I think it's just going to be really impressive, just the number, like the innings he's going to put on his arm, the amount of quality innings. That's why I can maybe have a good game where, I can put guys on my shoulder, but I'm not going to be doing that for like multiple games on the same day. I just can't. So for hitting, I think I wanted to pick a Marlin, but there's just too much going on. I want to pick a real wild card here. I'm going to pick some magical. I'm going to go with no. I'm going to go with McGruber from the A's. Very strange pick, I know, but somebody always has a weird, awesome game at Palooza, or day at Palooza.
Cool. All right, now quick to run through the rest of the playoffs. So round 1 in Hopkins, we have Biscuits versus Mariners. Rapid fire, Rocket.
Biscuits.
Mariners might not even come.
The Seamen won't come?
I hope.
That's
all right. All right.
we can edit that out. Right? No, is this live?
This is not live.
All right. So now we have Mets and Rubber Ducks in Hopkins. Go.
Rubber Ducks.
Got the Ducks in 3.
Taking the Mets in 3.
Mets.
And to break the tie, we have the Mets. We move over to Egan. We have Dodgers versus Marlins. Rocket.
Dodgers.
Fish.
Marlins.
And to break the tie, I'm going Dodgers.
So when Dodgers play, you are not the guy.
All right, and then we move over and we have Reds versus Yankees.
Yankees.
Old Yeller there for
Yeah.
the playoffs?
Everybody's there. Yeah.
That's good.
This one's tough.
Spoon coming back? See Ross?
Not eligible.
Ineligible. All
I'm gonna go with Reds getting bounced for the second straight year.
It'd be the third.
The third straight.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting bounced for the third straight year. We got bounced the last 2. You guys got bounced the last 2. So.
That's something to shake up there. Reds.
I don't know. They'd be fun to watch. It's really kind of a coin flip for me. There's the new guy you guys have is a real difference maker.
Yeah.
I think it changes the complexion of everything there. But I've only seen him play once, so it's hard for me. I'm gonna go with the Reds.
And to break the tie, ooh, this is tough.
I honestly think out of all the playoff matchups, this one is a flip of a coin.
Yes, and to flip the coin, I'm gonna flip and say the Yankees.
I saw him forming an R in his mouth. He went.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Just to motivate the Reds to do better. So really it balances out.
Yeah, we're not motivated at all.
Because we played the Yankees last year, and so it's fresher in our minds. Like they were tough. Like we barely got past them. So
You have to tell Handsome Matt to stop applying all his baseball analytics to the Twins, like the Major League Twins, and like focus inward. Then he'll be into it.
We're working on it.
stop tweeting, handsome Matt. All right. Also, what's the magic number? I'm waiting for my update. Did anyone get? Because he tweets that. All right. Next, we have in Hopkins. We have Biscuits versus Mets was decided. 5-game series. Name your team and how many games it takes.
Biscuits and 4.
Biscuits and 3.
Biscuits and 3.
Mets at 5.
All right. And over to Egan, we have Dodgers versus Yankees. Best of 5.
I say Yankees and 5.
Yeah, Dodgers and 4.
Pick Dodgers and 4.
Dodgers at 4.
Dodgers and 4. All right. World Series, we have a rematch. Biscuits and Dodgers. Best of 7.
Biscuits and 5.
Biscuits and 6.
Biscuits in 5.
Yankees and 7. I'm just
Love
I say Dodgers and 7.
you, Rocket. All right. That wraps it up. Just under an hour. If you made it through this whole thing, thank you. You probably didn't, but that'd be awesome. We will see you tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Any plugs?
Go Ducks.
Watch our highlight video.
Go watch Red's House. Subscribe. There we go.